So, first of all, thank you very much for having me here and for. Okay, so now I would like to talk about your experience with like technologies. So you were already mentioning that you have a web shop, for example. So, are there any other technologies you recently adopted or used?
Not so much in this because we're not so much also a technical studio. Some studios they use more machines and things like that, and we're basically really hands-on things. So in that way, it's not so much. But for the reservation system and for our calling system, we have a technology because the companies are using this, and I'm using that from them actually.
I see. So you as a business owner, would you say that you have some knowledge about it? So do you have problems to use new technologies, or is it?
For me, not, because I can also make my own web shop before. Now not anymore because it's too that I don't have the time. But it's more this is what basically how it is what we are using here. So basically, if I would have another business, I would probably have more. If I would continue more in the web shop, which I want to do in the future, then of course there will be more technology. But in this one, I research and I think more or less this is good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So you already mentioned that you're using some booking systems or something for your telephone. And I already mentioned that I'm interested especially in the platform usage of Treatwell. But actually I would like to first find out how you performed your business task without Treatwell. So let's forget about Treatwell right now. And later on I would like to compare it, how things might have changed because of the platform adoption. And now I really want to dig deeper into the whole accountability topic, and I will ask you some questions on 4 subtopics, which are very relevant for this term. So first, I would like to find out more about how you perform your finance work, finance accountancies, and everything. Before the usage of Treatwell, of course, and how do you use it, or what do you do, what are your main responsibilities, do you use tools, all of this.
Okay. It's pretty easy actually, this answer, because I was just starting up and I just started with the mobile waxing studio because I wanted to check out if that was an option actually to set it up here.
A mobile
waxing, so you go there. And I just started that very quickly. I finished that one, but already very quickly I met Treatwell. They just found me actually, and it was really, I'm already from the beginning from Treatwell. So basically I was just maybe starting up maybe 1 or 2 months. So there is not really a pre-Treatwell in this case. You know, in my wellness there was not the Treatwell, but in my own for my own business there was hardly a pre-Treatwell. So in that way I already quickly worked with Treatwell.
But if you do your finances exactly, then do you work?
I use a combination actually. I have accountant, but I do basically the whole cash flow is my thing, and I'm using just my bank states and I compare it at the end. My bank and cash coming in daily, you know, I have that on one side, and then we try to keep the system of Treatwell very clean. So if somebody is in or out, we take it out. So I use basically what is coming in by Treatwell side because before they didn't have. If you had your own customers, they didn't put it in their accounting, so there was a problem. But now they put everything in what I put in the system, and I keep that next to it so I can see if there is a balance or a disbalance. So that's my checkup.
So that means
So basically, I do my own accounting. I just check my bank state, what's coming in daily, you know. I put that down. Okay, that day this came, and then I put my cash on the side. So basically, that's the reality, what is coming in. And next to that, I check what Treatwell is telling me what is coming in.
Okay.
Because we try to keep every booking, we try, so that's why it cannot now 100% anymore. Every booking we go in, if it's not coming, we take it out, you know. And at the end, Treatwell also showing me what I have basically had money-wise on customers. So I put this balance next to each other, and then I can see is there a big disbalance or not, and I try to calculate what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a two systems basically.
Okay, I see. But on the Treatwell platform itself, you don't really do anything finance-wise?
Not the I know. I take their states basically, because they have a state what is coming in. So that's the state from them, but it's not 100% value, because my staff is not always taking everything in or out, because there's so many cancellations. To be a little bit more complicated, Treatwell, if somebody booked by Treatwell and they want to change something, we are not able to change this. And then we ask the customer to call to Treatwell, but they don't do it. So we have basically found a system to help the customer and ourselves a little bit faster. And this system makes it actually that the state balance from Treatwell is not 100% good anymore for me.
Okay, so because
of this system they use. All my own customers, which come from from via the website or walk in, we put in a system, and we can change it. So if somebody doesn't come anymore, because we have a lot of no-shows, we can take it out. But the ones from Treatwell, we ask them, can you please change it and everything like that? But sometimes they don't change it, so we found a subsystem to deal with this.
So you really have to call Treatwell, please.
Yes, so we sometimes don't do that anymore because it's too much work. There's too many changes. So if the person booked by Treatwell itself, we ask them, for example, can you delete your this one and can you make yourself another time, for example? Yeah. But that sometimes they don't do this, and we forget sometimes to take it out because we put it on. We have a block in Treatwell, and we take that one out, because if I don't take that treatment out, I am not able to rebook it. So the moment somebody from Treatwell says, I have at 11 o'clock an appointment, but I can only come at 1 o'clock, for example. Yeah. I put it directly to one of the agendas which is not working that day, so I have that space free. If somebody is coming, for example, from a walk-in, and she booked at 11, and she said, I want to have it at 3 o'clock, I pick it up and I take it to 3 o'clock. But with the Treatwell, you cannot do that. You can only put it sideways, and you cannot change the time or the day. And otherwise, we have to ask the client, can you please call Treatwell to change it to 3 o'clock? And that's not really friendly for the client, because they have no idea how it works, underwater. So that's why we put it aside and we make a block in our agenda. 3 o'clock, she has changed from there to there. This is easy because at least she came, but many times we have clients that maybe said, I'm not coming anymore, or maybe I will book next week and we're not fully sure. So then we have that one here, and they're not, and I said, can you please cancel it by your email? Yeah. And they don't do it. And then we have to call Treatwell, can you please cancel this one? And normally I call once or twice a week to Treatwell. I said, this one is cancelled, this one is cancelled. But sometimes I don't hear it from the girls anymore because it's happening too many times. So that's why I have in my booking system from Treatwell saying I have earned that money, but I didn't.
Because the treatments are still in there. Yeah,
the excellent is still there. And there's not that many, but for example, in 3 months, I would calculate about €600 is probably in the booking of Treatwell, but not in the reality.
Ah, okay, now I think I really understand.
Yeah.
So, and also if a customer cancels,
Yeah.
Or is just not showing up,
Yeah.
of course via Treatwell no new customers can book this time slot, right?
Yeah. Sorry about it.
So for example, if
Yeah.
a customer of Treatwell
Yeah.
booked tomorrow 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
but he cannot come or he's just not showing up,
Yeah.
that one is also blocked on, or let's even assume that he's actually canceling it. Is then the appointment available again on Treatwell? Do you know this?
For example, there's a few things. That one, she doesn't show up, and we only know 10 minutes afterwards,
Yeah.
because we don't never know this before.
Yeah.
And after 10 minutes, we call. After 3 or 4 minutes, we start to call the client, and then mostly it's always the same. It's or they don't pick up the phone, or the phone is not working, or anything like that. Because if people sometimes they don't want to come, they just put the phone off,
Yeah.
like this. So then we can put it like a no-show, and then of course it's blocked. But for example, if they tell us half hour before I'm not coming, for example, and it's a Treatwell client, I directly push it sideways, because I cannot take it out unless I call Treatwell, but sometimes there's no time for this. So, and then directly I have that space free. But like I said, I can work now with the system to go around these small problems, of course.
Yeah.
At the end, you know how to solve problems with the system.
Okay. So I'm not sure if I got it correctly right now. So if someone's not coming, you use your own.
No, then we can say no show, and if there's no show, then it definitely is not coming on our state balance, like earned money. So sometimes, if a person is not coming, they say half hour. Sorry, I'm not coming. I say to them, okay, I put you as a no-show, but don't worry. But at least then it's not coming on the state balance. Because when you put no-show, it's good. But yeah.
And okay, and if you get your income from Treatwell, how does that actually work? How do they?
So people pay online, for example, by Treatwell. That's not possible if they book by my own website or a walk-in, of course. By Treatwell, they can book or they can pay forward. And at the end of 2 times a month, they calculate how many people already paid forward already before, and I would get that money. The only thing is, I have to pay commission to Treatwell, and what they do is they balance what I get from them, and I have to pay them commission, and what is left, I will receive. Which luckily I will always receive, because people pay more already forward than I pay commission.
I see. And how high is the commission?
My commission is 30% if the client comes for the first time. If they continue, now they have changed it, I have to pay 1%, something like that. I have not seen and yet that balance basically, because that just started from April.
Oh, so that's new.
That's new, and we're not asking the client yet to basically say, okay, book by our website or anything like that, because the problem also is the clients don't know. If they Google GoNKD, Treatwell is coming above my own website, and they see GoNKD and they go inside and directly book. They don't know the difference if I go through my website or like that. So it's too complicated to explain. Like, okay, next time you cannot book by Treatwell anymore. You book only by our own website. And then they Google GoNKD and they think like, oh, this is their website. They have no idea sometimes the differences.
Yeah. And if the customers to talk about your other channels, if they book via your website, or how do they pay then?
They pay only here. They can only pay here. Yeah.
And do you have any preferences? Like,
well, for me, at the end, it's better if they book only by my website, because my website is getting more, is getting higher like this, and the more people who come to my website, it's more higher in ranking.
Yeah.
So that's anyway a better decision. Plus, the problem is if they book by Treatwell and they use a new email address or anything like that, I pay another commission again. And sometimes I had customers, they use 6 times an email, so they're already customer with me, and I pay 6 times 30% discount. That's really horrible for me. To pay once is okay because it's a new customer, and maybe she's coming 100 times again. It's a small fee, but if they keep on going, so sometimes we find out accidentally they use 6 email, and they say, please, now it's enough. You book or by our website or one email, but not again. New email.
I think I know. So you as a customer also always get the voucher, right, from Treatwell?
Yeah.
Like 10%, 10 euros off or so for the first treatment. So they.
Yeah. Every time they use, then I have every time I pay 10 euro. Well, they're already long time a customer here.
Oh.
Yeah. But so that's why I prefer, of course, the book by our own website, and I can see also more, because it's not that I don't want to work with Treatwell for a long time, but maybe in the future, if you always book, maybe you stop working, and another person gets the opportunity to work with Treatwell. But that's only in the future. Then you make it smaller. But right now, I'm so getting new customers from Treatwell. So for me, definitely work with Treatwell.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I actually still need to find out a bit more about money.
Yes.
The financial information you show. So, for example, the price lists.
Yeah.
You unfortunately already mentioned that you never really.
Yeah.
So that you're already using it after like 2.5 months. But where else do you publish financial information? Like, for example, the prices of your treatments.
If there's something else about that, no, it's really by the website. Of course, we have here.
Offline too.
But basically, there is not one. I use Google AdWords, but it's not a price list. So no.
Okay.
No.
And did anything influence your pricing models, or did Treatwell, for example, when you decided to join Treatwell, did you reconfigure your prices or something?
No. I am too good for the customers. I have to change this, but but it's okay.
And you also show the same prices everywhere?
Yes. There's no difference. No, that's too complicated. I don't want to make things complicated.
Yeah, and of course it would be. But did Treatwell say anything about that? No, because you can do this, of course. Yeah.
But like I said, if we have a price list here, so if somebody comes by Treatwell and they see the price list and it's a different one, that I don't know how people can do that. But maybe it's in a different brands would be maybe different, like maybe a Botox doctor or somebody doing permanent makeup. Maybe that's I can imagine, but not in my business.
Okay.
No.
That's very fair.
Yeah, but it's also not able to do it, and it's too complicated. No.
Yeah, I think also for a customer, if he looks on your website and later looks on Treatwell, he will maybe feel.
No. And like I said, everybody's booking on one customer can book on so many different ways, so they keep changing, or by Treatwell, by paying it forward, by my own website, calling, walk in, it's no, you cannot do that.
And one more small question about like financial reports. If you do like your annual report, how do you do that?
By the accountant?
Yeah, the list you said? Okay.
Well, basically, for me, since my Treatwell state balance is not 100%, for me the best way is just checking what's coming in by the bank and what's coming in by the cash, because that's the reality.
Okay.
Nothing else can. Maybe a staff member can take something out. Okay, that's possible. That's why I keep but the Treatwell balance is clear. But like I said, there's always a few mistakes in it. So I'm just using my bank statements and my cash statements.
And I have to ask one more time, how do you receive it from Treatwell? Do they do this online or do they...
Oh, you do the money that is coming from their side because they pay already forward. They just translate. They get it to my bank account, and it's based on their statement, which I get 2 times a month. It's seen what is the commission, what is paid forward. Yeah.
Okay, but you cannot log in, for example, and check. Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how does it look like then when you check online?
It's a PDF system, so you go into the PDF and basically you see how much treatments have been booked. It says how much already paid forward, how much is your commission, how many, and all the treatments that are basically booked by Treatwell.
Okay. All right. Now I will jump over to the next topic. And then this one is more about your performance quality, I call it, or service quality. So when you talk about your business and the treatments and maybe your experience, what makes your studio to show, for example, certificates or qualifications or anything, how do you publish them? Do you have something in your store, like maybe some, like...
No, because waxing and eyebrows is not like really like, you have to show what you can do. Yeah. So in that way, everybody can do this. Yeah. Basically, which works in this case, because like I said, we don't use machines or things like that. So we have to say, we have this, and this. Basically, the reviews will tell people if they are in a good salon or not a good salon. So so in that way, we don't have to show how we have done a certificate. It's more basically, so like for example, the sticker there we have top rated. Before, when I used to work by myself, I had, I think, one of the highest rating because it was easy because I did it myself. So then I used initially the rating that people said to me. So, but now basically we have too many staff, so we dropped a little bit in the rating. We're still good, but basically you can show that rating, but I'm not so much. Like I said before, I was really high, so I could use that rating to convince people, like, you don't get this rating if people are not happy with your system. But now, like I said, it's a good one, but people still come in by our reviews. That's basically how I think it's more accurate than saying, I did the training, blah blah blah, and this is how you can see it. Yeah.
And for example, on your website, do you there say anything about yourself or your...
We have a page, but this basically could even still be better, but it's not that time-wise that I had time for this. So, but we based the staff members, which is not even that accurate anymore, and we have put some reviews, but actually I didn't put the latest reviews or anything like that.
And what kind of reviews do you put there? The ones from Treatwell or?
The ones that are from Treatwell.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And what kind of do you share your treatments on your website? Yeah, you do, right? Okay. So in general, do you feel responsible for the information you share on either your website or let's talk about your website first, so that we can then dig deeper into Treatwell. So are you the one who's like deciding what you want to show, or do you feel any external pressure, like this needs to be on there also?
No, because also I made my own website in this case, so in that way I have people, fun enough, because I think it can be much. The reason I'm not let it do by somebody else is because now if I'm going to change it into a new website, I'm a little bit afraid for the ranking drop, which I had also with my web shop recently. I found out it's really a change, even though we try to keep the content the same. It's really different. That's the reason I'm a little bit scared, but I think people like the website, but I think it could be much more professional if some professional would make it. But since people like it, I keep maintaining, and the last time I didn't even have time now to change it. So basically, what it is on right now is what it is. It's also because we do quite well. So the reason is not if for example the customers are dropping, I will try to change more photos or try to do things different. But we're already that busy. I don't even have time at the moment to check the websites.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that the website became less important since you also have people?
No, in that reason it's just separate thing.
Okay.
For me it's a separate thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And regarding Treatwell again, when you were setting up your account, I heard that they take photos for you, or did you choose which photos you want to publish, or did they come?
No, they more or less they changed but now, for example, when they came to this news, because they already had photos, of course, they came to the studio and now it's on it. But I'm not too happy because they're already old, basically. And but they will not, or less, really make a big payment or something. But they're not gonna send a photographer here to make new photos. They decide what is now more or less on it. I can say, okay, this one, can you please take it out? But they in general do this, which is in general okay. But if I look at it right now, I would say, okay, can it be a little bit different again? Because our studio also looks different again.
So you can't change the photos yourself?
No, it's not that I can provide them a photo and say, okay, can you change this? No.
But on the website, of course, you can change.
Yeah.
And general information about, or your profile, do you feel like they are kind of deciding which information you?
No, you can give input.
Yeah.
They write a little bit different, but they do. No, you can say what you wish. You have influence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you said that they also do changes. What kind of changes did they do?
No, they rewrite it, that somebody's writing it, that it's looking a little bit the same like the other person.
Okay.
Yeah, which I can understand.
Yeah. But how you name your treatments, for example, is your...
No, I can do that. Yeah,
Okay.
everything yeah.
But did they ask you to, for example, put certain treatments on there or anything?
No.
So you still feel like you are the one who's deciding what's on there?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's actually already about like the performances. One more question about Treatwell. Do you use, for example, the special offers or anything? Any of those?
I have, for example, with the nails we had like people give a discount when they book, 4 hours before, or if you have something like also with if people book 4 hours before with the Brazilian wax, but that's a special offer, but nothing more than that.
That's on Treatwell also?
Yeah, that's on Treatwell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they also, if they book it by my own website, because my own website, they also go to Treatwell, so at the end it's the same. So I have a late booking, so if I have space and people book it, I give a discount, for example.
Okay. And you give this discount via your website and via Treatwell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, there's no, for me it's all the same.
Okay. How big is that discount?
Only 10%.
Okay. And how did you come up with the idea?
They got that idea as an option. They say you can do this, and I felt okay. I prefer in that way. They put it also in Treatwell, so people, I can get a 10% discount if I book late. So that's nice because some other people also do this. So they gave it as an option that we could do that, and I was like, okay, let's give it a try, because I prefer to have the staff be busy, but for a little bit less than not, of course.
But do they earn more when you use this?
No.
Nothing?
No.
So
they also earn less because I earn less, they also earn less if people book for the first time.
Okay, that's interesting. And the sticker I just saw, I think I will definitely take a photo later.
Yeah.
Since when do you have it?
Oh, that was one I had already because I have it every year. So basically, I get the sticker every year. And then we renew it.
And you are actually also one of the. So I found you because you were one of the top rated ones. Or do you feel like they give the sticker to everyone?
I think a lot at the end.
Yeah, okay.
But doesn't matter.
But why did you decide to put it there?
Because, like I said before, I used on the window what would be a ranking. Because at first it was 9.4 or 9.5, something like that. And I had to convince people to come in. Yeah. So that's why, based by Treatwell, my ranking is 9.5. But after some time, like I said, when I had more staff, it started, I had 9.2 or whatever. And I was like, okay, it's not so important. And we got a lot of people already in. So I said, okay, I'm not using that anymore, but convince people because I have a lot of walk-ins that we have a good studio, I use it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, perfect. So now I'm talking about the third main topic. This is more about, we actually already said a lot about this, but still how you interact with your customers. So without Treatwell again, did you ever experience any so first of all, how do you actually talk to your customers without Treatwell? That's first of all important. Do they call you?
Oh no, in general they book, just get the calls, but now I have the phone service who's picking up the phone, so after this I will just go and I start to call them back. Yeah. Unfortunately and fortunately, people are calling, especially in the morning, a lot nowadays, because today we're busy. So that means they cannot find a spot online. So what they're gonna do is call. But in general, we're already busy. So in that way, it's then not so nice if, for example, the girl yesterday, she was accidentally by herself the first hour and she got 9 calls and she had 3 customers. So she cannot pick up 9 calls at the same time. So when at the end I came in, we have to call very quickly all the customers. So calling, but I prefer, of course, they book online. Yeah. Because basically we have all the availability what we have online. So I prefer they book it online because otherwise, sometimes we have 50 customers in one day. For example, if they would all call, I have to put somebody on it. And now I can manage without somebody picking up the phone.
And who's picking up, or what is
in general system? I try to be especially it's in the morning and in the evening. During the day it's fine. We have people on the eyebrows, but in general if they are working on somebody's eyebrow, they're not picking up the phone. So that's why I'm trying to, in the mornings, always the first half hour I am there to pick up the phone before I take a client. And in general I have always blocks before, and I used to call them back. So that's why I use a phone service. They really write everything down, what they want and everything. So, and if somebody has time, they start to call back the customers.
Okay.
But basically online will be the best thing.
Okay.
I prefer that.
Okay. And if they book via your website, you also just have it in your schedule?
Yeah.
And do they write you emails sometimes?
Also, yes, also,
really? And they actually go on your website and write?
And they use the contact because I have a contact form, and I see them. Of course, that's why I always have my phone also with me. I see them coming in, but like I said, I still get anyway a lot of emails. I'm not a big fan of emails. No, but they change sometimes a lot by emails, or somebody is booking by emails. And in general, I found out the more they write emails, at the end they're always not coming for the appointment. So for me it's always like, okay, we put so much work in this, and at the end, oh sorry, I'm not able to come. Plus they already made so many emails about the time and whatever. So for me emails is probably the less one that I like than the phone. For me it's better they book online. So I'm gonna use also now on my website. We're busy this week because this busy is especially with the King's Day on Thursday. We're going to be really busy because then everybody wants to do eyebrows or waxing, and then I put on my website, we're quite busy, book online, everything what is available is online, because like I said, the moment we're really busy, we don't have time, they start calling a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And but what do you prefer in terms of like your customer relationship maybe? Do you think it's...
No, for me, I prefer, of course, that they still book book online and we make it really nice for them here. I prefer it like this.
Yeah.
But I always tell my customers, please book online. But if, for example, you are not able to find what you want and you want to go to another place, whatever, please give me a call, because maybe sometimes I can shift things around and I'm still able to do the treatment. So I give it more to them. Please book online, because it really helps us.
Yeah.
So, hi.
Hi. Okay. Does this happen often, actually?
Yes.
Yeah, really? So, yeah, you also have walk-in people?
Yeah.
Who just come here and say, can I come? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So would you range it? What's happening most?
Basically, the most is happening online, and then we have calling and walk-in. So let's say that 2/3 is going online and 1/3 is calling or walk-in.
Okay. Okay. And when you say online, is it?
Doesn't matter, treat well or bio, because for me it's the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't really tell the difference who's coming from.
Well, I see that. I can see that based because we have changed that. We can see ranking like treat well, website, walk-ins, or in that way. So initially I had only treat well, but since I'm on this location, then we had started to get more walk-ins. So that's for me. I'm really happy also with walk-ins, I have to say, and that's why my second location would be definitely on a street like this where we can get walk-ins, because it's basically the extra rent worth to have more walk-ins.
Yeah.
So
of course.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, now I would like to talk about the feedback and reviews. You also already mentioned that one.
Yeah.
Without Treatwell again, how do you receive feedback from your customers?
I have still the Google. You sometimes do Google ones, you know. And funny enough, that's always the ones that are unhappy. They use this one.
Really?
Yeah. So I have basically the worst ones are there actually. So because they wanted to share this to the world that they are unhappy, but you never know what they are. Sometimes you don't know what they are unhappy about or who it is, because they can also do anonymous. That's one thing, and they do by Treatwell, of course. And sometimes they call me, which actually I prefer the most, because these are the ones that I can definitely help again. The ones that are doing anonymous, I cannot help them, because I write down, can you please let me know, but they never respond. So I always think, if you're unhappy, just give me a call and we redo everything you can. And if you write down you're unhappy, you were not able to help them, basically. So because I don't know who it is, because they do it in general anonymous.
Also on both? On Google or on Treatwell?
Mostly on Treatwell, because they have that option to give an anonymous one. So sometimes I try to figure out, what they did, because I try to learn always. Yeah. But you don't know which treatment they had. Sometimes you don't know which person they had. What is really, so basically it's not so much you can do.
Okay. So you feel like the feedback you receive is helping you to
definitely. Yeah, because we always discuss inside. Sometimes I cannot do something with it, but in general, last time somebody said, the wax was too hot, but we are really strong on making it not hot, So then this person, it was anonymous, and I wanted to figure out who she had worked with, because she said, she did a group with this, but I still discussed and said, okay, girls, we remember we are really working strong on this ways, because I don't want this kind of reviews. And so we always discuss, or I always show if something is not good to the person, and so now we always discuss. So that way it happens, because I cannot say it will never happen again, but everything that is there or I get feedback is always discussed in general or with that person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you if you look at the reviews and see a really bad one, do you have the opportunity to delete them, or do you? not at all.
No.
Okay, because I don't know, for example, if you have the feeling that's really not fair or that's not
You
true.
can reply, but I never reply that it's unfair. I only say, please contact me so we can do something about it, whatever, because we're open for this. One time I had one girl for 2 months and she was really making a big mess. So that's why we dropped last year also in the review, because we could not help her to change. We wanted to help her to improve, but she didn't. And then I had many in 2 months, you know, that was horrible for me. So we really pushed her to work better, but at the end she didn't. So we had to let her go, of course. And that was a terrible time for me, because every time I got these terrible reviews, you know. So, and I wrote down after some time, okay, she's not working here anymore. So I wrote that one. I said, okay, thank you for your feedback. She's not working here anymore. So the next time you're not able to work with her again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually happened to the feedback you...
Yes, because it was too dumb.
Oh.
But she was working really terrible, because not only by feedback, but people really call me and show me things, and it was too bad. And she really wanted to improve, but at the end she was smoking outside weed apparently during the day. So, so you know, when we figured it out, it was really the end, you know.
Yeah, okay, so you really had a reason, yeah.
I gave her really a chance, but it didn't work out.
And
I wouldn't do it again. If that happens again in the first month, I stop.
Wow. But also, if you talk to your customers, do they also give you some input on...
They do sometimes, but actually I prefer now to keep on asking, actually, still.
Yeah.
So to get it more out of them, what we can do to improve.
Okay, so do you ask them like during the treatment or?
No,
after?
not so much, but basically we should do that more. Like I ask them always at the end, if I do the payment, did everything go well? And they in general, they say it's well. The most thing that is not going well is maybe sometimes the eyebrows. And if I'm there, I hear it sometimes in their voice. If they say, oh yeah, this is fine. Yeah, yes, you know, I can hear it. I can hear it in general if something is not good.
Yeah.
And then the girl says something and say, yeah, okay, it's okay. And then I come, step forward. I said, no, it's not okay. If it's not okay, we do something about it until it's okay. You know, sometimes we don't have the time. We ask them to come back, but I can hear it better than the girls in their voice. So I always make sure that they are happy.
Okay, so that's how you also receive input, of course.
Yeah.
So the reviews again, sorry that I'm a bit mixing up things. So, and also the booking, I know we already talked a lot about the booking, but so you already said, again, in general you prefer online bookings. And do you think, since you kind of shift this responsibility towards the platforms, that they kind of look after this, does it give you more space, or why do you actually prefer it?
Online, you mean?
Yeah.
I know it gives a lot of space, because like I said, because there's a lot of changes and things now also happening, because like I said, we have a lot of eyebrows, and that can be like 50 or 60 treatments on a day, and there's a lot of changes and things like that, and I cannot be able to, then I have to put somebody on. The good thing is, if, for example, I would not use a platform, and if people come in, the payment I pay on commission, I could pay on a staff member to do that. That's true. But like I said, most people now, they are checking out things by Treatwell. Treatwell is a really well-known platform in Amsterdam, so many people using it.
Yeah, yeah. So overall, you are happy if you see a Treatwell customer?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And also with the feedback, do you sometimes ask your customers to like put a review on Treatwell?
No, not anymore. No, I have enough of it. I think, I don't know, I have 1,600 reviews. For me, I don't even need more reviews, to tell you the truth. I can even maybe put it out or something like that. It's basically, it should be enough, basically. And in the beginning, I used it really well. Like I said, I needed to convince. But now it's like, okay, I'm fine. I'm just checking out every morning, like, okay, what did we do? And yeah, that's it.
So it became kind of a daily business task to
But also girls check out.
Yeah?
Yeah, the girls, they are really curious if they do well or not well, and they really see these things. Or sometimes they say, oh, did you see that review? And I didn't even have time to review it. No, they're really like, because they know I'm checking things out, so they also know that, then I come back to the person if I can figure it out. And sometimes I cannot, but so they are also sometimes want to know already.
Okay. So do you think they maybe also feel a bit observed?
They do, but in the end they are okay with it. And I think it's a good way. I think reviews are a good system anyway, and it keeps us also sharp, because if one, for example, one girl, she was new, she was not able to do really waxing on eyebrows, and I saw 2 customers, they said it was a little bit hotter, and I can correct her, but otherwise I would not know these things. So of course I'm set for that customers, we figured it out, but okay, after the 2 we figure it out, and I can tell her what she needs to improve. Yeah. So no, it's actually, I also have a web shop in Germany, and the German ones are much stronger how things should be received, and sometimes you can be a little bit, actually I'm not too happy with the but I always think, no, you know what, they are right, I have to make things better. So it's a good way of making the business. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And the reviews and rankings. Yeah. So when did you actually find out about it? So when you start adopting the platform, were you immediately like, oh, I need good reviews now? Or?
No, but that time people came in on the reviews, but also that time is now not like this anymore. I think the ranking in Treatwell became better if you had a higher review. So that's why I was more higher up for everybody. So that's why I was able to grow. Yeah. So in that you realize, okay, good ranking is also growing.
Okay. Yeah. So do you feel like you also definitely grew because of your good rankings?
Yeah, definitely.
And you really feel how it has changed within the last...
They now work with basically a little bit better system, so more people are also higher up there if they are new, or they have different systems now. And I agree, because otherwise the same ones were always on the top. So, and then you get also more business, and that's why it keeps itself in like that.
But do you think, or is it because more people in your environment are joining the platform? Do you?
Of course, now more than when I was there. They only had 10 people working there, so it was not so many yet.
So you were kind of one of the first movers.
Yeah.
Okay, but they approached you, did they?
Yeah, that time they were really approaching.
But did you already know about it before, or did you already?
No, because they were really new, but they just approached me, and I was thinking, okay, because actually it was good for me that they booked the online system for me, and they made photos and things like that, and it was only €300 at that time, and I said, okay, I can invest in that, and then I also have an online booking system.
Okay, so you first had to pay €300 to
as the startup.
Everything. Yeah. And when they came here, or when they approached you, did they really help you with or support you with how to engage with the platform? Did they give you any recommendations how to use it?
That was good.
And did they, for example, also tell you that you should ask for reviews or something, or?
No, they can ask. They ask a little bit. They say, but not really. But I never really worked on this. I never asked people to write a review. The thing is, if I would start up a new place, then it's separate. Then we need the review. So maybe then I will ask the initial 10. Because then you start directly good. Maybe to help with the review. That would be. But after some time, it's too much. You don't want. Like I said, we don't need that also anymore. But maybe if you start up, of course, because I have one woman, she worked here also for nails, and then she started for herself, and I checked out her reviews, and they were much better there than she was doing it here. But I was thinking, okay, she probably asked her customers she already had, can you please write down a review? And here we don't do that.
Yeah. But you can only write a review on Treatwell after you booked via the platform. Yeah. So that's also a bit like safety, I think. Yeah. And about the rankings and everything, did they inform you how it works or anything? Are they transparent about this?
No.
But would you like to find out more about how they actually rank you?
No, because I'm okay with that because I'm doing well. But and there was some time that I asked her. I said, "How is it possible that this person is always on top? Always?" She said, "Do they pay you?" And then I said, "If she does, what is she paying? And can I do it as well? You know?" And then they said, "No, they don't pay me." Blah blah blah. And I don't know. But that company was always on top, so I never figured out that time. But now it's different, and I even don't check out my rankings anymore. But I'm lucky because, like I said, we're already quite doing well.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing well, I'm gonna check out much more things.
But you would rather like check out what others do?
Not anymore. Initially you do, but now I'm not so much interested in that.
Yeah, because you're doing well.
Yeah.
So you actually already also mentioned an interesting fact. You would also pay for better rankings.
If that time, yes.
Yeah.
If that was the case, that they had the opportunity for this, I'm thinking, okay, I get business from this. I prefer to pay it than to Treatwell. I also have to pay it to Google AdWords otherwise.
Yeah, yeah.
But they said they didn't.
Okay, but you also use Google AdWords,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And Facebook.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that one at all. But Facebook, what do you do there?
Advertise, but that's only when I think we need it.
Oh, okay. So you don't really use it?
And right now, not.
Okay, so you have a page on Facebook?
No.
But is there happening a lot? Or?
No, for me, not so much.
Okay, so most interesting channels for you?
Treatwell. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, very, very interesting. Found out a lot. I think I can also kind of wrap it up, even though I could ask you so many more questions. So that was very, very helpful for me, and I learned a lot from you, and I have a feeling that you're definitely someone who's super experienced with it.
But true, because I work from the beginning.
Yes.
But I'm lucky. I'm very lucky because, like I said, it helped really grow my business. So that's why I'm positive and said I can help you because I'm very positive about Treatwell.
Yeah.
Of course, there's also minor things, but after some time, you know how to work with this. But no, I really had good experiences, and you know what? It's no cure, no pay. So it's really. We don't have to pay for a customer unless they are becoming a customer. And with Google AdWords, you pay whatever, So in that way...
So you pay more for AdWords?
No, I pay less because I'm not using so much the AdWords. I just use it a little bit next to it just to make sure. I'm not even sure, like I said, how much, customers are coming from Google AdWords with Treatwell. At least I know. So, yeah. So, no, I'm very positive about Treatwell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a few more tiny things. So it became kind of indispensable for you. You wouldn't say I would not use Treatwell anymore.
At this moment, no.
Okay, because there's nothing better out there to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And also that's something I want to say as well. Maybe it's nice for you, but their system for the bookings. I tried another booking next to it, and none of the bookings are as good as their system. They have really a beautiful system. The only problem is, like I said, I cannot change the Treatwell clients easily. That makes really a big problem. But that's the only big problem, and the rest is perfect. They have really a great system.
Okay, but did you already consider reporting this to them?
I already said it. Yeah, I had now as a new different account manager, but I had a really nice account manager, and she would definitely take my input. But then said, no, we cannot change whatever. But no.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And overall, the whole topic of accountability and responsibilities. Again, do you think that, for example, through platforms like this, accountabilities shift more towards the customers? Or do you think that, for example, by giving you reviews, by booking everything themselves, do you feel like they have more responsibilities, or does it put kind of a pressure on you?
No, because like I said, I see it as a positive thing. So for me, it's no problem, and I think that's the way it works right now. So I don't have a problem with it. Then it's better you make your business good, so you can have an advantage from this. So for me, it's really no problem. Like I said, it's more making. Then, like I said, I think still at the end you have to offer if I would do it myself, because it's not always easy to get the stuff like the way I would do it, because I go a little bit further than the staff, and I try to push them, of course, to do as well. But there's always a difference. But I would definitely say, you know, give your client the best that is possible, you know. So, and that's my only thing. I don't want to become lazy when you're already too busy, and that's really a big risk, I think, also for me, because I know, you know, I don't have to, you know, because there's anyway coming customers. That's something I try sometimes still to wake up like, okay, we need to do, and that's why, you know, I still try to get the best porter for them, the best this, and you know, we try to, and if something is not looking good, you know, because I don't want to drop down, because that's the beginning of the end. But I think it's good if you offer something, to offer something good. And maybe it can always be better, but offer something at least good. So this platform make you that you have to do it, and I think it's a fair thing. So no, I'm good with that. No problem.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I already, as I said, I gained a lot of great input from you, and I learned a lot, actually. So of course I already did some research before, and I had a look at the platform and everything, but it was very interesting for me to find out how a business actually really uses it.
Yeah.
And as I said, I really have a feeling that you're definitely one of the pros, but also, yeah, shows within your rankings. So I think, yeah, that was very interesting for me, and I think other small businesses are struggling to use it properly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
yeah.
but I think you already have a very smart way to interact with it.
But like I say, I'm lucky because I'm from the beginning. I think if you would use it now, it's more complicated already.
Okay, because there's already a lot of competition. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's one more thing. So there's more competition for you now online? You said this, right? Yeah.
I think there is, but like I said, I'm not checking it out. I'm just reviewing what is here, but I know that there's a lot. That's why, like I said, you have to keep it really well, and that's why I also say we cannot lose a customer, basically, because there's too many options here. So, but that's why the moment you are becoming, I think in Amsterdam, a name, is really important. That's why I said now I can open maybe my second place, because we already worked on a name, and I think even then maybe it's getting easier because people somehow they like to go, but it should never become like delete or something like that, although they're also working really well. But that's not my purpose. I would always keep it a little bit small and keep it like this. But I think if we would have two, it would even improve the business, because then people feel that, oh, you know, if there's two, then I can trust it better.
So you've become your own brand.
A little bit, but that's enough for me. There's more things to do, but different. But this why I say, okay, now we have built this one. Maybe, you know, it's for me, you know. But maybe ask me in 3 years, I maybe have more, because I changed.
In every city.
No, I'm not. I'm trying not to actually. I think that's enough actually.
But as I said, when I was browsing through it a lot, and I was looking like how are people building up their profiles, and yours was like very like looking at me kind of, because you have like the nice pictures and everything, but of course they also kind of, I mean, they were responsible for the photos, but it was just all a nice...
No, but they made nice photos. But now I would even I want to actually, they wish to make almost new ones again, but and we're still improving things actually. So that's why if something is old here, I try to get something different. But
you know, just one thing for me as a customer, I also book via Treatwell, and actually I was one of the people who used different email addresses, and I feel very bad about it now because I didn't know about like the first customer thing, and that really changed my mind how to like, because you really like, I mean, I want to of course support the small businesses and everything. But for me, when I look for treatments, it's horrible that everyone names them differently. So I never really know what I really get from it. So for me, I think it's very important that a business also like really clearly and transparently says what they are offering and how a treatment looks like.
But how you mean more like which treatment, for example, would be name one that they call different, for example?
I don't know. For example, I don't do that much, but I always do my feet.
Okay.
And yeah, with this one, it's like, are they actually scrubbing it? Are they just doing the nails?
Yeah.
How
no,
are
I
they?
agree. That could even be with us better because the nails are not so big one here. But indeed, for us, because we have a mini one and this one, and what will be the difference?
Yeah. That's something what I really realized because I just, I also, instantly booked something again, and I was very unhappy afterwards.
Yeah.
But I didn't really want to give them a bad review because of that. But I was, I expected something else.
Different, yeah. You want to know already beforehand what you can expect.
Yeah.
And not figure it out afterwards. Yeah, no, that's
it's
a good
just
one.
like being clear.
Yeah. No,
But
that's a good feedback also for me.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, then thank you very much. I can also finally stop this 1 hour. Wow, I'm very happy with
I
that
have
one.
to also run now.
Oh.